Okay, guys, welcome back to an episode of WN mixed with Plugin Police. But we're basically just doing a first look at this new Izotope plugin. And so far, I've been messing with it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what I think yet. You're going to have to wait and see. You're going to go through the process here with me, seeing everything. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here. Bazinga. Wow. Izotope has released a multi-effect plugin, and I feel like that's not a phrase I ever thought would come out of my mouth. They have released FXEQ. What they state is creative FX through the workflow of an EQ. I'm gonna be honest, don't know why we would need the workflow of an EQ for creative FX, but hey, I'm diving into this the same time as you, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna be seeing yet. I wanna be surprised just like you will be surprised. So, we're going to find out. Is this a dumb idea or not? I don't know yet. I'm going to be honest. So far, it does seem like a dumb idea, but okay. So they state it is 5 powerful creative effects, 1 innovative EQ workflow, easily add drive, dimension, and texture to your tracks, no more complex routing, buses, and sins. Simplify your effects chain with the equivalent of 10 separate plugins in one. Say hello to brilliant sounds without the struggle. I'm going to be honest. Looking at this, it looks like there may be a little struggle, but I do see the simplification of the effects here. The EQ thing seems a little strange to me. So it has saturate, lo-fi, chorus, flanger, phaser, reverb, and delay, then warp any sound into something new with unique combinations and automations. All right, I've held off as long as I can. It's no infiltrator. I don't understand why they'd release a plugin with just 5 pretty basic effects in it. This idea's been done to hell, dude. Not the EQ workflow thing. So that could still be great for all we know. This idea of like a bunch of like stock effects, not even a bunch, a handful, if your hands are really small, stock effects in a plugin. So now let's get to the interesting part, the unique EQ workflow according to them. So FXEQ doesn't just apply effects. You paint your mix with tone and texture using each module's 6-band EQ, then tweak with 4 versatile filter shapes and adjustable Q. Forget typical multi-effects. This is a whole new way to sculpt your sound. I'm gonna be honest, they didn't clarify things at all for me. Basically, all it told me was that there's a 6-band EQ. I feel like they didn't explain the idea well or why you need it. Some judgment is still reserved here. I might even play with it in this video. That sounds really weird. I might play with the plugin in this video. I'm not gonna play with it, you fucking freaks. Izotope would be so much better if they just put more time into what they're doing. Instead of like, it seems like they have these set deadlines or that they just don't aim very high with their ideas. And because of that, whatever they do ends up being underwhelming.
A unique multi-effect plugin that lets you paint 5 powerful creative effects into specific frequencies in your audio. No complex bus routing, no endless plugin stacks.
No endless plugin stacks? My guy, you have 5 effects here. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anyone who would be looking for that specifically, Yeah, I honestly think it sounded better before.
Into this.
So in some ways it's better after. In some ways it's worse. Like I feel like there's a lot more lows and mids, and I do not like what they did to the drums at all. I think honestly if they mixed it in a bit, like if they used a mix knob or something, it would work a lot better. The processing on the drum set is. They did not though. It seems like there isn't a mix knob on this from what I could tell. It looks like you can only use an amount fader scroll thing, whatever. Which is not the same exactly, obviously. Obviously you'd probably want a combination of the two. So far, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of disappointing. So to give you a little demonstration here, I brought in some loops. They are my loops, except for the bass loop. I basically took a splice loop and pitched it down. Not really important. I'm just trying to grab something really quickly for this, for like a little demonstration here of how this works. Now, I will say this. After playing with this for a little bit, it is a bit different than what you would do with just stock effects. It seems to only process whatever frequencies you boost. So whatever frequencies you boost, that's what gets run through the saturator or whatever effect you're using. I have a few drum loops of mine, percussion and drums, and then this bass loop. And it's just a kind of like a clean synth bass loop. That way we can like really hear what the saturation does. Okay, so I'm gonna test out the saturation here. As you can see, they have different They have different types of saturation here, and it's only going to apply it to wherever I put this EQ node, and you can also add in a bunch of them. So that's kind of interesting. Probably make more sense to focus on one for now. So my first thought here, it's not really some crazy intense distortion. You know, it's nothing like Trash 2, but it is serviceable. You probably would want one of these other algorithms if you're trying to do something more intense. Now, one thing I find interesting is how there's no mix knob. Having mix knobs for these individual plugins here would make this a lot better, in my opinion. Like I said, it's only $50, so you know it's not the end of the world. But I would find this more usable. Now, for me, I don't really know if I would like using the EQ feature or EQ targeting, I guess, with a lot of these other effects. I would have to see how they sound. But in particular with the saturate, like that's going to be the one that makes the most obvious sense, because, you know, you target a section to saturate and then it's going to, you know, change the way the bass sounds a lot. You can really kind of morph your bass sound a lot with that. One thing I'm noticing here, it's kind of hard to keep track of like where these EQ nodes are. Like where does the EQ node that made this here? Is it this? No, I'm grabbing something else. Where is it? Did I lose it? What the fuck? Is it this one? It's this one up here. And there was no way to know it was the one causing this. I guess because I had the amount turned down, it kind of like pushed it away from it, and it was kind of hard to tell where it was at. So let's mess with like how it sounds, see what kind of bass tones we can get out of this. I mean, I kind of like what that did there. You know, definitely could get that with something else. It would also be interesting if you could double up some of these effects here. You know, if I could have multiple delays targeting different frequencies or something. So one thing I'm noticing, like the softer saturations, they sound kind of nice, but I'm noticing these more aggressive ones, they kind of don't sound great. This just does not seem like a great like saturation algorithm, at least when you're doing like some heavy saturation. You know, I mean, to really get into it, you probably would want to like test it with some different sounds, but just based on this like clean sound here, it's not really the most pleasing saturation from what I could tell. Next, I kind of want to test out maybe like some sort of melody thing. Okay, so here I have like a melody loop of mine. It's kind of an old one. I've made a beat and song with it before. I'm really curious where this is going to go, because, I mean, just knowing the way this normally sounds, I just don't see this going anywhere good. Like, for instance, this like reverb, this like EQ reverb thing, I just don't think that's a good idea. Like, you're just going to be causing like resonance problems with this. This just seems like kind of a bad idea. Now, the other ones, maybe not a bad idea, but in particular with reverb, I just feel like you're playing a fucking dangerous game here. Let me try the delay. I mean, this could be useful if you're trying to make your song more messy, I guess. I mean, like, I'm running into the same issue with this over and over. It's like kind of subtle, but it's just kind of messy. Like, I guess you could add some slight color to your tracks with this, but like, it's just it's very subtle, you know? Like, I just don't know if there's like a ton of value in this, at least in my opinion. Perfect. Ship it. I'm gonna be honest, this is not great, dude. Like, I get it's kind of a unique idea, but that doesn't make it a good idea, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of don't know what they were thinking with this one here. I guess they were thinking like, oh, this hasn't really been done before, but I feel like there's a reason why this hasn't been done before. This isn't a full episode of Plugin Police or anything. This is kind of just like a first look at this. And I feel like a first look is kind of sufficient. you know, especially for something like this. Like, is this worth a fucking deep dive? It seems like they didn't really do a deep dive making this, you know? Like, did they really think this was super valuable? I don't know. I'm not really getting it personally. Like, I can kind of see it with the saturation, you know, that makes sense to me. Every other effect on here, it just seems like you're creating mud for like no fucking reason. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. If you're interested in this plugin, there will be a link to it on Plugin Boutique. If you do feel like buying it, use the affiliate link in the description. A great way to support the channel and the content. I can't really understand why too many people would buy this personally though, but you know, it's there in case you want to support. Another way to support is through my Patreon or becoming a channel member. Any support is appreciated. I'll see you guys next time.